Hello Year 6, I'm going to tell you a story, and it is the story of Pandora's box, one of the most famous Greek myths. So many of you might be familiar with it, but just enjoy the story. So the story begins a very long time ago, before the Greek gods with whom you're familiar, gods such as Zeus and Hera and Mars. Before them, there were the Titans, the gods, huge gods who were there at the very beginning of the making of the world. And the Titans and the gods, led by Zeus, had a tremendous battle. And eventually, Zeus and the Olympian gods won the battle. There were a couple of Titans who had helped Zeus, including two called Prometheus and Epimetheus. And so Zeus gave Prometheus and Epimetheus the job to make humans and animals to populate the earth. And so they did that. They made all the animals and all the humans, but actually only human men. And time passed, and Prometheus and Epimetheus realised that the world was not a happy place and something was missing. Not women, actually, but fire. There was no fire, and Zeus had always intended that humans should not have fire. So Prometheus did a daring thing, and that is he stole fire and gave it to the humans. And Zeus was extremely angry, and he punished Prometheus with a very famous punishment that you're probably familiar with. Prometheus was tied to a rock, and every day to eternity, an eagle pecks out his liver, and it grows overnight, and then it pecks it out the next day. So it's a terrible punishment. For Epimetheus, he didn't, because he wasn't quite so involved in the theft of the fire. He didn't devise a specific punishment, but he basically devised a punishment for the whole of mankind. And the first part of this punishment, this wasn't the punishment, the first part of it was he created woman, the first woman. And the first woman was called Pandora, and Pandora means all gifted, and or gifted by all. And all the gods and goddesses gave Pandora a gift. And so she was beautiful, she was clever, she was wise, but unfortunately she got a couple of other gifts. Hera, the queen of the gods, gave her the gift of curiosity, and Zeus gave her a sealed box. And he told Pandora she must never open the box. Anyway, he then gave Pandora, this beautiful woman, to Epimetheus as his wife, and they were very happy at first. However, Pandora had the gift of curiosity, and she had the sealed box. The two things did not sit comfortably together, and she was very inquisitive and wanted to find out what was in the box. Now, she knew she shouldn't open it. She had been told over and over again that she must never open the box. Zeus had told her, the messenger of the gods had told her. She first of all tried to hide the box from her own sight. She buried it in a cellar. Some stories say she buried it underground, but she was literally unable to forget the box. And she told some of her friends about the box, and the friends said, "Oh, I think you should open it, Pandora. Imagine what might be in it. It might be full of jewels." Zeus couldn't really mean that you never opened it. It might be the most wonderful wedding present. And she couldn't resist. And eventually, in secret, she found the box. And with difficulty, because it was sealed, she opened the box. And immediately out of the box flew. They bounded out. They were inescapable. They just went. All the evils of the world. So she, by opening the box, had unleashed all the evil in the world. She immediately realised what she'd done. She tried to shut the box. Sometimes she's sitting on the box. Sometimes she's squeezing it shut. But she was unable. And all of that evil just flew out of the box where there'd been no evil in the world before. And as she was standing looking at it, petrified, devastated, knowing what she'd done, she realised there was one tiny thing left in the box. Sometimes it has a tiny voice saying, Pandora, Pandora. And so she lifts out this last little sprite, this little spirit. And the thing that's left in the box is hope. So although Zeus had designed a punishment for the whole world, that it would be impossible to live without evil of all kinds, poverty and hunger and strife and murder and illness and plague. Nevertheless, there was one thing left which would save the human race, and that was hope. Thank you for listening.